Saturday. I'm not getting dressed. It's a weekend. I don't have to, so I'm not gonna. It's been a really long week since I've talked to you. It's been awful on this side. Um, there's a lot going on. So I have a stupid foot injury that has hindered me. I had no idea how much I would be affected by that, and it was just a stupid thing. Um, I had a cat scratch, and while I was being scratched, I pulled my foot back and hit the undercarriage, I guess, of like the metal framework of a recliner, and it split like the top part of my foot. I hit it like across my toes, um, which of course got infected because I refused to let my friend clean it because I'm a big giant baby wussy pants because I didn't want it to hurt. It bled everywhere. I bled all over their carpet. I feel terrible. Um, I went home and rested and went to work a day and a half later, and it was huge. My toes were literally sticking straight out like this. It was just a big ball, red, angry, infected, giant fat foot. And my boyfriend and I started calling it CatFoot 2020 just to try to make, some light about it. And it was awful. It was painful. I couldn't touch it. I thought it was just a regular infection. And a coworker of mine had said, I really think that's cellulitis. And I'm no stranger to cellulitis. I actually get it a few times a year due to my size, the shape of my body. There are, right around my waistline, but my underwear line, a lot of friction happens there. There's not a lot of air coming through, obviously, because I'm not walking around without a shirt on. And then these little friction sores happen. Some people will call it chub rub, very similar, but it's on my waist. And they will actually become infected. And then apparently, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a medical professional, I'm a receptionist. But there is a difference between an infected thing and cellulitis. So I know that they're both an infection, and that's all I know. So usually when I get cellulitis, it's on my belly, and I have two courses of antibiotics generally. It takes about two weeks to 20 days or so for it to, be back to normal and not painful. Luckily for me, because of my hysterectomy, I have a lot of numb spots, especially the entire front section under my belly button, all the way up to my pubic line is numb. I feel nothing. So if the infection is anywhere in that area, I feel nothing. I don't feel the pressure, I don't feel the pain, I don't feel the tender. This is a double-edged sword because I often don't know that it's happening until it's breached outside that area, and then it's excruciating. This was quite painful, and I was getting really concerned because my skin was cracking, and it was to its absolute max. I couldn't put hardly any pressure on it at all. I had no shoe that fit my giant cat foot. It was so fat. So we started some antibiotics. I'm 4 days in now, 4 or 5, I'm not sure. Um, Significantly better. My poor little toe is all black and blue. Um, I might have broken my toe. It's pretty gnarly. It doesn't bend. It's misshapen, and it's black and blue. The top of my foot is pretty black and blue where the bar hit. The cut itself is I think healed, so it's like underneath. I can still feel like the the hardness of the cellulitis. So probably gonna need a second round, which is unpleasant because my belly is angry. I'm on Augmentin this time, which is a pretty powerful antibiotic, and it hurts my belly. I'm big wussy baby pants, so it's not a pleasant time this week. I'm a mess emotionally. I'm horrifically depressed this week. I'm sure that it's not medicine related. It is probably environmental, but I'm not in a good place. I've not been in a good place for the past like probably 3 or 4 days. I've been doing my best. I don't know if it's because I worked the late shift this week and we rotate the late shift once a month. Um, we're incredibly short staffed, so unfortunately, we sometimes have to do more than 1 week a month of this shift, and it's 11 to 8, which isn't bad, like generally speaking. But when you have a child at home, it's tough, and he's a very delicate time in his life, so structure is really, really important, and the changing of shifts kind of makes it a little difficult. So, my phone is ringing. So, we've been working on that. He's having a tough time with school, and I'm having a tough time with work. I'm in school. I'm drowning. Um, I have a lot of feelings of embarrassment right now. It's sort of a realization that like I'm not able to do this without help this time. So I'm not sure if I ever touched on this in any of my last videos, but there was a time where I was this big before and I lost, I think the end total was 147 pounds. I think I had made a joke. My father weighed 146 pounds or something, and I had made a joke about how I had lost him off my body, which I did that with portion control, increased water intake, exercise, and low carbs as much as I could. I didn't really restrict a lot. I just made my portions smaller. I didn't eat at night, and I drank an absurd amount of water. I was also a cook then, and I was running like all day, sweating my ass off at work because our air conditioner broke every damn day, unloading trucks. Any of you who've ever worked in a kitchen, you know how truck day sucks. Throwing things in and out of the freezer and in the cooler, and a lot of exercise, which is very different from my life now. I sit in an office chair. I get up enough, and I've realized how much I do get up now that I couldn't walk on my foot for 2 days. But it's not enough. And we were walking at night, which I can't do now because of my foot. We're not quite there yet. We'll get there. But I felt I'm at the point now where we're down 17 pounds now. People are starting to notice. People are saying, "Well, I can tell that you're losing weight now." And a lot of people will say, "How are you doing it?" And my coworkers and my close friends, my family members, of course, know that I've started a new medicine. So it's a little different. But strangers or people that I've not seen in a long time, like, "Wow, you're losing some weight. What are you doing?" I'm super embarrassed to say I inject myself with a medicine once a week to stop myself from binge eating because I'm powerless to control myself. I feel a tremendous amount of defeat there for that. And I'm not really sure how to get over that. I know that it's okay to ask for help. I've been depressed my entire life, and I, generally speaking, don't have much of a problem asking for help when it gets to be too much. But this is different. This is a basic, everyday, everybody does it thing that I do too much of. And I can't stop myself from doing it. And I'm noticing that as I'm adjusting to the medicine, I'm able to eat more and more, and I'm so terrified that I'm still not in control. I know that this takes months to learn, and I know that it's okay to make mistakes, and I know all these things, and these would be things that I would tell somebody else, but I'm terrified that I won't be completely successful. I want to be. I'm determined to be. But there's always this fear that when the crutch is gone, I'll go back to what I used to do. Eat. I think about that a lot, and as much as I miss my food, I'm terrified of food. And I also am afraid that I'll develop some sort of aversion or some fear or something that's going to cause me to be severely malnutritioned, and then I'll be just as sick as I was when I was big. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about this. I'm not currently in therapy. I don't feel that I need it at this time. And that's not to dismiss people who are in therapy. I think it's a beautiful thing. It's one of the concentrations of my job that I enjoy the most. I do the scheduling for our mental health professionals at my job. So I recognize how crucial that is to people's growth and mental health. I think having a structured breakdown every Wednesday is something that I can anticipate. And really, it plays into my OCD. I know that every Wednesday I'm going to be a fucking mess. So I can prepare for that. And again, I don't mean to make light of it. It's just, this doesn't feel like my normal depression. This doesn't feel hopeless. This is anxiety. This is fear. This is the what ifs, which I'm so bad at that, and I'm always what ifing myself to just complete panic. But I maintain that I have a good support system. My family is on board with this medication. My significant other is on board. Best support system I've ever had in my life. He's interested and he's informed and ask every single day, how are you feeling? Were you able to eat today? Does this feel better? Does this symptom, is this subsiding for you? Like, he's paying attention and he's assisting and he's helping. And that being said, I worry that my depression symptoms will be taken personally, especially by him. And not that he wouldn't understand depression, it's just that with all that love and support, you would think that I wouldn't ever be sad. And on paper, I shouldn't be, and I am. And I think that some of that is neurological. Some of that is just brain chemistry. And I am, as I've said repeatedly, unmedicated in terms of depression and anxiety. So some of that is out of my control at this point. I am learning how to stop that, how to fix that, how to help that. And I just try to reassure that it's not anybody's fault. It's not even my fault. And if I can't get a grip on it, I don't think there's another human being in the world that can just make it go away. It could temporarily make it stop, which is helpful enough to me to get my bearings and, kind of get more control of my life. But it comes in waves. So the other day I'm at work and everything's going okay, and as okay as it can right now because it's utter chaos. And I'm just sipping my water, and all of a sudden, bam, it hits me. And I start getting these thoughts. What a horrible employee you are. Look at you with your stupid CatFoot. Like, you can't even function. People are literally getting water for you. How pathetic. None of these people respect you. None of these people give a shit about you. Or even like I'll get an angry patient on the phone and I think, oh, well, I've deserved that. I'm sure I didn't help this person as much as I could have, or my boss must be disappointed in me with my behavior lately. I actually cried at my desk the other day, which I haven't done since I started working there. I felt very overwhelmed, and I didn't feel unappreciated, but I felt that, I felt unnecessarily judged, and I wasn't. And then that's the part that I guess I'm trying to get to, is that all of these feelings that I have about being judged and being not good enough aren't actually happening. People aren't actually saying those things, or most of the time not even thinking those things, but it's there in my head, and then that makes it real. So I haven't quite figured out a game plan on how to control that. Usually I would take my anxiety medication and it would go away. So I need to learn how to do that now. That doesn't involve eating or taking a pill. So we're going to work on that. And again, I feel like I need a second disclaimer. Like I'm not against people taking medication for anxiety or depression. I think in most cases, and probably in my case, it's the only way to stop that. I think that fear is irrational and it's not something that we have control over, and anxiety is fear. So unless you are superhuman, you're not going to be able to just stop being afraid of something that you've been afraid of, in my case, for 30 something years, without help, without chemical help. And I probably will have to be on medication for anxiety and or depression for the remainder of my life, I am sure, unless I want to be this crazy this whole time, when I don't. I'm learning about myself right now, and when it gets too heavy, then I'm going to go back. But right now I've got a good grip, I think, ish on it, and I really think that I can do it without. I'm probably wrong. You're probably going to watch a couple more videos of me, bladassing to the internet about how awful my wonderful life is, and then I'm going to have to go back on meds. And we'll see what happens with that. I'm concerned about that because I do gain a lot of weight when I'm on them, but I guess we'll see. I have yet to find the right combination that actually works with all the things that I needed to work with. It's always like a hit and miss. Like, it'll take care of this and it makes this so much worse, and then it will take care of this a little bit but not all the way, and I can't have that. So I am a perfectionist after all, so I guess we'll find a plan and we'll get there, and hopefully you'll get to see the whole thing happen. So anyway, I'm gonna go enjoy my Saturday. I might not even get dressed all day. Who knows? We'll see. Hopefully it wasn't too terrible, but I guess we're gonna continue on, and we're gonna keep doing our thing. So share your love, share your shit, be nice to people, and thank you for listening.